Today, I would like to talk about something which is very important to every human being. Something which is being underlooked in our daily lives, in our homes, families, societies, nations, in the continent of Africa and the entire world. The lack of love, trust, and unity in our homes, in our lives, in our families, societies, nations, especially in my lovely continent where I live, Africa, and the entire world across the whole globe or the whole universe. Radio stations, TV channels, social media platforms broadcast news daily about children or people killing themselves, children killing their parents, parents killing their children's wives, killing their husbands, and husbands killing their wives. Families breaking up, splitting into two cause of indifferences such as land issues, our indifferences in political parties, our indifferences in our religious sects. Nation is waging wars against each neighboring nations, hence leading to death and killing of innocent people. People who are working in the same companies or organizations, fighting each other, hating each other, cause of certain issues that can be solved, hence limiting cooperation that will help to boost the performance or the development of that company or the organization towards promoting unity, hence leading to the development of that organization or unity so that it can benefit the people themselves, it can benefit the community, it can benefit the nation, hence leading to the growth of our continent, Africa. We have to change so that we can promote unity in our workplace. We have to change so that we can cooperate and solve our indifferences, because these indifferences limit the proper growth of our companies or organizations. Companies, nations, and continents waging wars against their neighboring states. Societies breaking up because of people who are greedy for power and other material possessions. The struggle for superiority and greed for material possessions has made people to undermine the most important aspects of life, the most important things in life that should be considered in the entire human life as far as development is concerned. We are living in the generation where people are willing to manipulate others to satisfy their lust, where people are willing to encourage values and things that leads to division of people, that limits the unity and the oneness of the people who are living in the same community. We are living in the generation where people do not consider others. We are living in the generation where people are willing to sacrifice their brothers and sisters, where people are willing to sacrifice their societies so long as they are enjoying life themselves. But these things that we are encouraging, these values that are encouraging, they are promoting this unity among people. And when we promote this unity among people, it means that the growth of our countries, the growth of our continent, Africa, is hindered. A story is told by a Hebrew man who was born, raised, and grew up in Africa, in place known as the present-day Egypt. According to this man, who was living in the biggest civilization at that time, in his story was trying to explain to us about the civilization that happened before this civilization that he was living in. According to this great man, as he was trying to explain about the first civilization that existed in human history, he was so clear that he tried to explain to us things that we should avoid and things that we should learn from. According to this man, as he was trying to explain this story, he said that the first civilization at that time, the world had one language, and they had a common speech. This first civilization in the entire history of human, according to God, these people had one language. So it was very easy for them to speak or to communicate to the entire people that lived in that generation. They used their language to communicate issues clearly so that everyone could understand what his brother or sister was trying to say, was trying to communicate. No, we are in a generation where there is a diversity of languages. So in the process, we need to study them, or we need to get translators to translate for us the meaning of such languages that we do not know, so that we can conceive the information that they are trying literally to mean. So this generation, or this first civilization, didn't have all that. They had one language. They had a common speech, meaning they had everyone what they were trying to communicate. You know, the problem of language is the most common problem that I studied when I was still in high schools, especially when it came to the point when we were studying about the missionaries, or when the white society decided to move from their home places to search for new colonies, especially Africa. So the biggest problem that hindered their process, or that they battled with, was language problem. So language problem is the biggest problem that has ever existed in human history. But this first civilization didn't have this problem They had one language. They were able to communicate to each other. Everyone could understand each other clearly. So it was, according to this great man, it was very easy for them to gather themselves, unite, and talk within themselves. They had a vision. So, because they saw a problem that was going to happen to them. This is why I say that every generation has a problem that is waiting for them to solve. And the good thing is, every problem that is waiting for that generation can be solved. So it is the responsibility of the people who are living in that generation to solve that problem. So when these first people in this first generation foresaw the problem, they used their language to unite themselves. So they came up with a vision of building something that could save them, that could save them. So they decided to build a tower, and they did it collectively. They started to bake bricks. They did whatever it needed to cost for them to build what? This great tower. They used the element of unity, oneness within them. So these people were so focused to solve the problem that was waiting for them. But even though they had a vision and they had a language that united them, these people, the vision they had was according to their will. So they started a mega project, but they are doing this project at their own will and understanding. You know, we are the only creatures, human is the only creature that God created among all the creatures that God created and placed in this wonderful universe that has a free will, or that God created and made just like Him. You know, most people do not want to hear this. Most people feel so holistic, feel so spiritual, that when you tell them that God made a human just like Him, we are gods, they do not want to hear that. But God made a human being and made just like Him. He gave the humans that element. He gave them the characteristics. He gave them the qualities of God. That's why we can decide, we can use our free will to decide what is good and what is not good. In the animal kingdom, there is no such a thing. Animals use what we call instinct. But here the humans, God gave them the most precious thing called a will. He gave human a will that made a human a very dangerous animal on this planet Earth. So we are like gods. That's why God do not want any human to devalue another human. That's what God does not want any human to disrespect another human. That's why God does not any human to treat another human like any animal. Cause what? You are treating God like that. This person has the image of God. Let's take an example. In our institutions, for instance, we have several institutions. Let me bring out an example of a bank. When I try to move into a bank, when I reach into a bank, I find some stuff there. These people have tags that is carrying the name of that bank. So, when you see someone with that tag or that specific bank's tag, it means that you are dealing with someone who is authorized to do the bank's services on its will. So once you approach this person, you do not feel anything. You just feel that you are working directly with the bank. But let's remember, the bank has staff from bottom up the top. The bank has its director. So when you meet these workers of the bank who are given these tags, it means that they are authorized to do the work of the bank, to do the services to the people who are going in the bank to access these services. But when someone who is having the tag of that institution misbehaves or start to do things that does not align with the bank's rules and regulations, because even though you are employed in the bank, you have to be in order, you have to be answerable to the top management, most especially the director. You have to do the work according to the director's instruction, according to the way how the director lays the rules and regulations that helps in the smooth running of this institution. Once they discover that you are using the bank's name in a way that is not proper, most of the times they remove their tag from you, because you are supposed, even if you are not in the bank, but when you carry the tag of the bank, wherever you go, you are moving with this bank. So in whatever you do, you have to make sure that everything you are doing gives credit, gives respect to the bank onto which you are carrying its tag. And when we find out that the employers who are given these tags, they are fighting within themselves, we who see them, we question why these people are behaving in this manner, because they have to respect, they have to show a good image, they have to use the tag to do good things in the public. Let's say it's a school. Everywhere you move, you have to align with the school rules and regulations, even though you are not at school. But the moment you carry the school's tag, the moment you carry the bank's tag, the moment you carry the company's name, it means you have to be careful, because you are not you, but you are carrying the real bank, you are carrying the real company, you are carrying the real school. So whatever you use this name in a way that is not good, you are giving a bad image of the company. So you are just like the company. So in the same manner, we human beings, we are gods. God gave us his spirit. God gave us his characteristics that makes us to be gods. So we have the ability to create just like God. We have the ability to make things happen. We have the ability to destroy. We have the ability to build. So in every way we behave, we have to represent the image of God that is within us. We are the gods. The difference within us and God the Almighty is we don't worship humans. Just like when, even though you find an employer of the bank, he is representing the name of the bank, but when it comes to decision making, they go directly to the director. Let's say a school, even though you are a teacher, you are carrying the name of the school. There are certain decisions that you cannot make when they are only for the headmaster, when they are only for the CEO of the company. So, humans, even though we carry the image of God, none is supposed to worship a fellow human. The praise and worship belongs to God. We just carry God's image. So, in the process, we have to be careful about the image we are carrying. We have to represent it so well. And we have to know that even though we are the image, but we are not worshipped. But we receive the same treatment. That's why God will not allow any human to devalue another human. So, this generation had a vision, but the vision they had was against God's will. The vision they had was against God's will. They said, let's come and build for a city for ours, so that we may make a name for ourselves. It means that they have not considered the top boss. They are doing them. It's like when you find employers of a bank, when you find the teachers discussing about issues when they have not included the head of the school, when they have not included the head of the bank, it means that they are doing something against the will of the school's boss, against the will of the bank's boss. So these people, they decided to do something. Of course, it was something great, but against God's will. When you do something that is against God's will, most of the time it leads to destruction. So God was scared. God saw their determination. God saw their courage. God saw the spirit of oneness that they had, that they showed towards building this great project, and he was scared. It doesn't mean that God was scared because these people are so powerful than God. God was scared because they were doing something that does not align with his will. So in the process, they were leading to something that was going to destroy the entire human race. That makes God hungry. Just like when the employers decide to do something against the CEO's orders, it means they are going to lead to the destruction of the company. So once the boss gets to know the information about their plan, he has to do everything so that these people can stop their plans. So God saw the courage, God saw the determination of the people of this first civilization that was going to the destruction of the entire human race. It means that they were going to destroy God's people who are innocent. But because of their leaders of that time, use that oneness, use that togetherness, they decided to do something that was against God's will. So, our main focus as the INASA group, we have our mission. Our mission says that we rediscovering and reconnecting our minds to the original truth and purpose of God. In the process of rediscovery, it means that there was truth somewhere. Because everything that God created, He created it with its original form and with its original intent or purpose. We are in a generation where wise men are using their free will to do things that does not align with God's will. They are doing things as experiment, and they are making our brothers and sisters to believe that what they are trying to do, they are good. So in the process, they buy them information, they feed them information that makes them believe that the experiments of these wise men are true. So most of our brothers and sisters, they have turned in that direction. For example, wise men have started to experiment about making a rectum an entrance. But a rectum was designed to be an exit in the human system. So the wise men will feed our brothers and sisters information that makes them believe that a rectum is something that can be used as an entrance. So in the process, it means that our brothers and sisters' minds or brains will be disconnected from the original truth. And once they are disconnected from the original truth, it means that they are going to use that part for the purpose that was not intended for it to function. So we as the INASA group, our aim is we help ourselves to emphasize and to encourage our brothers to rediscover. Once you rediscover something that you lost, once you gain the real information that you lost, it means that you are going to reconnect back. We are going to help our African brothers and sisters in every nation to reconnect back to the original information. Once we try to give you the information that a rectum in the human system is an exit, it means that you are going to use a rectum as an exit, not as an entrance, despite of the information that has been provided by the wise men. You know, it's like when you are traveling, going somewhere. As you are on your way, you find a big junction. And when you find a big junction, there are many routes. And you fail to identify which route will take you to your destination. So, in the process of not knowing the truth, you will end up taking a route that does not lead you to your destination. When you go and you take that route that does not take you to your destination, it means that you will not be able to do the right purpose that was taking you, because you have taken a wrong route. So, in the process, as you are walking, someone can give you information, or you can get refreshing of the information, and you know that the route I'm taking is not the right route. So you have to go back. You have to go back. In the process of going back, you have to go back to the junction where you diverted, so that you can connect. It means you disconnected yourself. So you have to reconnect yourself. In the process of reconnecting, it means that you take the right route. And once you take the right route, it means that you will be able reach your destination that you were intended to. And once you reach your destination, it means that you are going to do what was in your mind at first. So that's our responsibility as INASA group, to encourage our dear brothers and sisters, because in this generation we have a problem. But the good thing is we can solve this problem, but it is our responsibility for us all to use the unity, to use the oneness, to use every possible ways that is peaceful, to see that we can do things in the right way that was intended for. You know, you can use your free will. You have your choice. But the choice you take sometimes is destructive. So once you try to use your rectum as an interest, it's your will. But when time comes, when time passes, because this system was not meant to be an entrance, it will backfire. And at the end, there would be consequences of the decisions that you took. Of course, your body will lose the nutrients and it will lose everything that God intended it to function. And in the process, you become weak. You become vulnerable, that you do not do anything. And the process, you decided as who you yourself. But the consequences, we your friends, we your family, we are going to get the consequences. And in the process of getting the consequences, it means that with the family, we are going to lose someone who was born with talent, someone who was born to be a great woman, someone who was born to be a great man. And at the end of the day, a nation will lose such a valuable person. And once a nation loses such a valuable person, it means that the whole continent will be damaged. So, our brothers and sisters, let's try to promote unity. Let's try to connect. Let's try to reconnect. Let's try to rediscover. If you see your brother who has moved out of your way, it's your responsibility to advise this brother. Most of the decisions we make as individuals. So I say that God was scared about these people, but God wasn't scared about these people because they were doing something that God did not do. But God was emphasizing, but they were doing something that was going to destroy the entire human race. It means that God will lose his valuable people because God values everyone. We are the only people who do not know our value, but the one who made us know the real value that he created within us. So God was not against development. God was against the spirit of individualism, where man's concern is himself, not God. The spirit of individualism did not start today. It started back in those early days, from the start of the creation, from our forefathers, our ancestors. So still today, that spirit of individualism is among our dear brothers and sisters. But God is against the spirit of individualism, not because he fears people, but because it leads to destruction. For example, the spirit of individualism, our nations provide money to certain institutions. For example, they can provide money to the Ministry of Health. But when the spirit of individualism among the ministers, the workers who are in this ministry, instead of using this money to build a hospital, instead of buying equipment, instead of buying medicine and take them to the hospital, it means that they will not take the medicine, they will not build the hospital, they will take this money for their personal benefit. And in the process of taking this money for their personal benefit, the hospital that was going to help the whole village, the hospital that was going to help the whole country, it's nowhere to be. The medicine that would be treating people in that area, the money has been used by one person. So God dislikes or is against the spirit of individualism, because the spirit of individualism leads to destruction, and the destruction of God's most precious gift of human being. Once they give you money to build houses for people, once they give you money to build water sources, brothers and sisters, it's good to use that money for the right purpose. Once you divert that money for your personal benefit, it means that the people in that area will live in a place where there is no good water. And the moment we do not access good water, it means that our bodies will be infected by diseases, several kinds of diseases that are caused as a result of taking water that is not good. So, if the government decides to provide money to build schools, let's focus on building schools. Because once we build the schools, it means that we are going to educate the people of the nation. Once the people of the nation gets education, it means that we are going to get people who are intelligent, people who are going to do things that will help this nation to develop, people who are going to help. And in the process of doing things that help the nation, it means that we are making Africa a great place. So it's not good to use resources that was meant to be for many, for person. This spirit of individualism, in the first civilization, God used the most important weapon. God used the language to confuse these people so that they cannot understand each other. So in the process of not understanding each other, it means that the building will be stopped, because God loves his people. So he used language to confuse these people so that they cannot understand each other. The moment you stop understanding each other, it means that you are going to go or to part ways. So we are in the generation where God has given us the information. It's good we learn from the mistakes of our forefathers. God has given us the information. But instead of learning from this story that this great man explained to us clearly, we have invented other ways that has limited the development of our families, the development of our nations, the development of our societies, that has limited the development of our organizations, the development of our continent, Africa in general. We have invented other ways. We have led to confusion in our religious sects. We have added on another confusion of democracy, where we practice multi-party democracy. Instead of using these religious sects, instead of using these political parties to gather people, to make people respect each other, we are using them as a tool to make people not divided. So, our brothers and sisters, when we are in this form, God will create other disasters for us. But when we understand that everything we do, we have to do according to God's will, even if we have our will, We shall make our homes great homes. We shall make our families great families. We shall make our societies great societies. We shall make our nations great nations. Because we have so many nations in Africa. And once this nation is become great, it means that Africa would be great. So, this spirit of individualism, God was against it. Not because God was against development. God was against this spirit of individualism, where everything man does is being done to benefit him individually. Instead of... So, our brothers and sisters, whenever we do things, it has to be filled with love for others. I usually say, God does not have love. Because whatever you have, you can lose it. God is love. God is love. So, whenever we try to do any project, whenever we try to do any purpose in life, either as an individual or in a group, it has to be filled with love for others. Before deciding to do something, first ask yourself, is this a good thing to the humanity? Will this align with God's rules? Will this be good to God's people? If it's money for building schools, we request our leaders to build schools. If it's money to build water sources, our leaders, please, build water sources. That's when we shall be able to do things according to how they are. There is a great man called Marcus Tullius Cicero. He said, if you have a garden and a library, if a human has a garden and a library, you have everything you need. To me, I say, you need 3 things in life for a successful living. You need God. In everything we do, let's put God first. You need God. You need a garden. And we need a library. 3 things in life we need. If we have those 3 things, everything would be good for the entire humanity. Everything would be good for the entire human history. Therefore, when the people scattered all over the earth, meaning everyone was speaking a different language, meaning everyone had to understand God in a different way, and they had to call God different names, because the language, these people were scattered, and everyone, because God used the language, everyone started to speak different languages. So everyone had a different view of God. For instance, let's take an example. We, in Msoga, where I grew up from, where I was born, we call God Chibumba. In Imbare, they call him Were. In the Imbare regions, in Western, they call him Ruhanga. Here in our central Buganda, we call him Katonda. But this does not mean that we are worshipping different gods. It means he is the same God with different names. So it's a blasphemy for the people of today who has turned God into a business entity. They have packaged God that if you do not understand him the way they understand him, if you do not call God the way they call him, it has become a real battle. But I say, these selfish desires are causing disunity among families. These selfish desires of such leaders are causing disunity in the nation. People who should be gathering, people who should be one, are battling with ideas, are battling with disunity, because we do not understand God like the way Muslims understand him. It is a battle. If we do not understand God the way Christians understand him, it's a battle. But the difference is the names. The same God has enabled this generation to gain wisdom, to gain information, that I can translate language. If I say a word in Rusoga, for instance, in my country, I can try to search for that meaning. And if I find out that the meaning it has is the same as I have, why can't I adjust my cultural experience? Because this region, the way they speak, the names they call different things, differs from the way or the culture of different places. But if we try to understand that what they are trying to mean is the same thing as we have, just the names are different, why do we fight? Why do we disagree with people? Because the way they call God is not the way we call him. Those are selfish desires. It's a blasphemy. God, he is God who made people speak different languages. So, in the process, there are several ways people can worship according to how they understand God in their language. So, I request religious leaders to use religion as something, as an instrument that can value people. Instead of abusing, we have seen leaders, religious leaders, abusing other leaders. If we do not agree on several things, why would we bring such things on our pulpits? Which spirit are we instilling in the followers who are listening to us? Let's use religion as something that can promote unity among every human. Let's use religion as something that can promote respect. Let's stop the habit, my brothers and sisters, let's stop the habit of abusing each other. Let's stop the habit of disrespecting, of speaking words, that speaking language that cause harm to our beloved brothers and sisters. Let's try to expand our understanding. Once we value people, when we respect people, it means that we are respecting God. When we devalue people, when we fight people, it means that we are causing disunity. In the process of causing disunity, it means that families will be torn apart, homes will be torn apart, societies will be torn apart. This will cost our families. This will cause divisions in our homes. Because if we try to study these nations, for example, if we try to study the whites, they can tolerate different ways of living with each other. It's only in Africa where you see your brother does not believe the way you believe, does not understand the way you understand, that you start fighting. Let's expand, let's value each other. Our lives is more important because we are carrying God's image. Let's stop violating God's image. Let's not turn God into a business entity. It's like making God like a companies of water. This one will fight, this one will fight, this one will fight. Because they are all selling the same thing. But because they need customers, they have to tarnish the names of other brands. Let's not be the same with God. We are not selling God. We are the ones who needs to worship God. So, we need to adjust. We need to promote unity. We need to respect people. We need to value people. I argue, my brothers and sisters, let's stop abusing our fathers. We are using languages that abuse our fathers, people whom we should learn from. We abuse leaders. It's fine. You may not agree with a certain leader, but it doesn't mean that you have to abuse that person. It's time as Africa to understand God's secret. God's secret was the people who had one language used their oneness to do something that was against God's will. So, if we reconnect, if we rediscover what our forefathers did, it means that we have to reconnect. How should we reconnect? We have to understand that language is a most important thing to each and every. It can create unity. In the process of creating that oneness, it means we can be able to know God's secret, unity as it was at first. But instead of doing like our forefathers who wanted to do in their name, on their individual interest, let's try to do something that is based on God's will. It's our time to raise Africa. Understanding God in different languages doesn't mean that we are not understanding the same God. He is the same God that created all these languages. So, we have to understand God's secret. God has given us the information. God has given us the wisdom so that we can translate others people's languages. Instead of working upon this factor that God used, we have to study. We have to study from our ancestors, and we have to study from this story, and we have to learn something so that we can do something which is better. Once we do something that is based on God's will, we shall build something that is great and something that is going to make Africa a great nation. But if we invent otherwise, it means that we are continuing to deepen ourselves in a hole that I do not know whether we shall be able to redeem ourselves from it. And if we do not wake up today, if we do not rise up today, still the generations to come will suffer. But why do we allow our great grandchildren to suffer? Yet we can put an end to this issue. We can unite. We can start valuing other people. We can learn God's secret and know that once you do something that is not based on God's secret, most of the time it leads you to destruction. But when you do something that is based on God's will, it will help the entire human race. So I call upon my dear brothers and sisters to promote unity. Let's promote unity in our religious sects. Let's promote unity in our political parties. If we take a study about people who have tried to make a great impact in the entire universe, some have reached where they are because of people whom they do not share the same beliefs. Some have reached where they are because of people whom they do not share the same religion, whom they do not share the same political ideologies, whom they do not share the same tribes, whom they do not share the same nationalities, whom they do not share. So let's respect each and everyone, no matter your size, no matter your color, no matter your region, no matter your nation, but so long as it's human, let's respect human the way, because we are carrying the most precious image of God. So let's trust in each and every one. Let's promote love. Let's promote trust. Let's promote unity. If we do that, we shall make this continent a beautiful place where to live. I believe we may disagree, we may have different beliefs, we may have different thinking, we may have different, but that doesn't make us enemies. That doesn't make us to fight. So we are the INASA. Let's rediscover and let's reconnect our minds to the original truth and purpose of God. In that way, we shall be able to glorify God. We shall be able to make this place a wonderful universe. Because whatever action we take, we hold the consequences. And we shall be accountable in the eternity. We shall be held accountable for whatever action you make. It will be either individual account, it will be a communal account, because we shall be judged according. If you are a leader, you will be judged according to the whole entire nation that you did, that you were responsible for. So we argue leaders too. We argue leaders. Let's be peaceful. We request our dear brothers and sisters to stop using artful language. We are using our social media platforms to hurt people, to speak ill about people, to use hurtful language that do not respect people, no matter their size, no matter their status. We have to respect each and everyone. If I'm bigger than you, it doesn't mean that I have to disrespect you. I have to treat you the way I want you to treat me. So let's treat others the way we need others to treat us. We argue in our political parties. Let's promote unity in political parties. It's not a crime if leaders of one political party sit with other leaders of another political party. It's promoting unity, because the aim is, how can we build nations? How can we build great nations? But if leaders misbehave, none loves following leaders who misbehave. We argue leaders. You are the role models of the us who follow you. So if I see a leader using hurtful language, if I see a leader dehumanizing another leader, if I see a leader abusing another leader, where would I get the motivation to follow that leader? Or where would I get the motivation that this leader has good morals, has good values for the nation? So we argue. It's really looks so weird. It's really a blasphemy to me. For instance, in my nation, Uganda, it's really a blasphemy. When I see, when a country loses one of its member of parliament, and the president of our nation does not attend the funeral of that member of the parliament, because they do not share the same political party. Yes, we agree. You have your will to be another political party, But when it comes to lose the life of a leader, life is more important than position is. So, to my thinking, I believe the president should be present when we are sending welfare to our brother and sister whom we have lost. But in our nation, we see when we lose a parliament and members of another political party goes to attend, we ourselves, the brothers and sisters, we speak evil about these people. Sometimes we reach to an extent that we need to beat these leaders. That's not good. Yes, we may disagree with our political structure. We may disagree, but the president has to attend the burial of an MP of a nation, because an MP, we have to serve the people, not to serve our interests. It's really a great burden for someone to be a leader. We have to bear the costs. We have to respect the president of the country, even if we disagree with him, even if we do not share the same ideas, because even as we shall be in the same position, but still there shall be challenges. But if we promote that culture where we shall be abusing the lead of a country, where we shall be abusing the lead of our organizations, where we shall be abusing the leaders of our institutions, what culture are we showing to the young generation? What culture are we showing to the young generation? We have to be an exemplary. We have to have leaders who are willing to serve the nation. We have to have leaders who are willing to be responsible. We have to have leaders who promote unity. Let's share the national vision. Our nation is in Africa. Let's share that national vision. In the process of sharing that national vision, it's our responsibility for a cleaner, it's our responsibility for a doctor, it's our responsibility for a farmer, it's our responsibility for a banker, it's our responsibility for a teacher, it's our responsibility for a sheikh, it's our responsibility for a pastor, it's our responsibility for a father, it's our responsibility for each and every one in the economy, because when they are measuring the gross national product of a nation, they measure each and every individual. Everyone matters. We have to respect each and everyone. Let's not be overcome by our indifferences. If we want Africa to rise, it's our responsibility as the youth. The youth, we have the responsibility. There is a major challenge ahead of us. We have to lay a good foundation for the children, for our sons, for our daughters, for our great-great-grandkids that are going to come. We have to make a responsibility so that we can make this place a beautiful place. We have the responsibility of making every part where we live a different place. If we do that, if we achieve that, we shall make this place a beautiful nation. We shall make everything a different, and we shall make it everything that can be good to the entire human race. Let's have a national vision in our nations and share that national vision for the good of African nations. If we share that national vision, we pass that national vision to the generation. It means that we shall be creating a culture where our sons, our daughters, and our great grandkids will make and maintain the place to be good. For example, in my motherland, in my nation, Uganda, we are about to start campaigns for the elections of the year 2026. Let's not make politics a business, but rather let's make it a national service. Let's not make politics a business, but rather a national service. I do not know why the government injected so much money in politics, because our brothers and sisters are not after service. They are after money. they are willing to sell their properties in the name of representing people. They are willing to sell off their property so that they can secure these positions. They are not service. So we argue the government and the Constitutional Committee to reconsider this in the name of representing people. Let's remove money from politics. That's when we shall be able to get good leaders who shall be willing to serve their nation willfully, but not serving their nation because they have discovered that politics is a business. We request the government to reconsider this, because the money they spend on one person, we can use that money to construct roads. We can use that money. I have traveled some of the different parts of our nation, Uganda. We lack schools. Our dear brothers and sisters lack good sources of water. Our roads are poor. The money we spent on one person can help to buy medicine that can help to cure our brothers and sisters who are suffering because they don't have access to good medication. I request my brothers and sisters, the youth who are in the struggle, it's good to be in the struggle, but let's be peaceful. Let's be peaceful. Let's follow police rules and regulations. Let's not follow people blindly because we love them. Let's follow people because they will serve us in a way that we need to be served. Let's follow police rules. Let's follow the instructions. We request, do not lose lives. Your lives matters more than position is. Your lives matters more than position is. We love everyone. We love everyone. Our brothers, we love everyone. Let's value each other. Let's not use hurtful languages. Let's value each other. Let's not abuse each other because we support different political parties. Let's give freedom to everyone to exercise his free will, to support every person that they feel can work for them. But let's not abuse each other. We request to maintain peace, brothers and sisters. Let's promote unity within our political parties. We request the police to be fair. Stop treating people badly. Stop beating innocent people. Stop treating journalists the way we see on TVs and radio stations, the way we see you treat people. Instead, be protective to these people. Guide the people well. Do not practice unfairness. Practice fairness. Guide people so well that you can recognize every political party, their supporters, you guide them. Do not beat people. Our dear brothers and sisters, you are our parents, you are our mothers, you are our fathers, you are our role models. If you beat us who are supporting, we are innocent. Do not beat us. Guide us well. Instead of when you see me doing something that it does not align to the rules, guide me, teach me instead of beating. We are causing disaster to families. We are leading to bloodshed of innocent people. These people are great people. They were born with great talents. Let's not abuse them. Let's not beat them to death. Let's not shoot them. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. Let's be fair, our dear brothers and sisters. We are worried about what will happen, but let's promote unity in political parties. Let's not be the cause of deaths of innocent people. We are in the generation where everyone matters. We do not have the bushes that we used to have to hide. Everywhere we are, in large quantities. If you treat us the way you treat us, it will not favor. And in each and every African country that will hold elections, We request the police to be fair, and we request our dear brothers and sisters, the supporters, to follow the police rules and regulations. The journalists, to follow the police rules and regulations. We love you so much because your life is more important than the positions that we fight for. You may fight for the position today, but when you are gone, you are going to leave this position. We have lost you. Your life is more important than anything else. Let's not be enemies. Our aim is to build nations. It's our responsibility for everyone to make sure that the place we are living in, we make it a great nation. No one is your enemy. Let's not make politics to be a source of creating divisions and enemies. Everyone's life matters. No one is your enemy. In fact, let me say something. I think it will come to be, if people try to understand with time, God's most enemy is the devil, but still God's best evil too. Because we have seen in many phrases where God is on table with the devil. We have seen the young Jewish rabbi, Jesus of Nazareth. He was face to face with the devil in the wilderness. The devil helps us to reveal the real us. It's not just you can claim that you are a person of God. If the devil approaches you, we have to show him the powers. We have to show him the powers that nothing can overcome God's power. So once the devil attacks us, it means that we have to show, just like the Jesus of Nazareth, he showed that the devil, that God's mighty hand is more powerful than his will. So at the end of that, they were together. But when the devil tried to convince him and he failed to succeed, Jesus showed the power of God. So in the name of political parties, why do we make the other political parties to be our enemies? We have to associate. If they don't encourage, if you don't tolerate their values, it doesn't mean that you have to fight with them. It means that you have something that you do not tolerate. It means that we have never seen a place where God was fighting with the devil. So let's promote unity. Let's promote unity. No one is your enemy. The person whom you call your enemy will just help you to reveal your powers. It will help you to reveal the power within you. When you are overcome with the power of someone else, it means that you are already corrupt. So someone who has the power of God, even if the devil will approach him, he will overcome the devil. Job overcame the devil, but the devil had a meeting with God. When he requested permission from God to see that he works on his human being, Job, but God allowed him. They did not fight. We are the only creatures who have made people whom we disagree with our enemies. No one is your enemy. Those who dehumanize people, those who devalue people, we are not enemies. We were created both equally. Fine, we shall be on different levels according to the status of the world, but we are the same people. We are born and we shall die. Everyone, no matter your size, no matter your color, no matter your status, we shall all taste death. So let's promote unity. If we create an environment of unity, everything we desire to create will be meaningful and impactful to the present generation and the generation is to follow. So we have to promote unity and each and everything. There is a great man who said these words. There is a great man, according to the 3 universities of life that we taught you about the three: the hospital, the graveyard, and the prison. This man has been in prison for decades. Leonardo Peltier said these words: I do not know how to save the world. I do not have the answers or the answer. I hold no secret knowledge on how to fix the mistakes of the generations past and the present. I only know that without compassion and respect for all of the earth's inhabitants, none of us will survive, nor will we desire to be. What a powerful statement. This man made this statement in prison because he has been in prison for so long. This statement is loaded. When he understands the true powers of the prison, he came up with such a powerful statement. I do not know how to save the world. I do not know the answers or the answer. I hold no secret knowledge on how to fix the mistakes of the generations past and present. I only know that without respect and compassion for each of the earth's inhabitants, none of us will survive. We have to show respect not only to human beings, we have to show respect to natural resources, we have to show respect for mountains, because if we violate the mountains, at the end of the day they will kill us. We have to show respect for forests. If we cut down the forests, it means that we are disturbing the rainfall making processes. So we shall experience drought seasons, because the United Nations is paying so many countries to keep their forests. So we have to maintain and respect the rivers. We have to respect the rivers. We have to respect each and all of the earth's inhabitants. We have to respect people. That's the only way we can be able to save the world. To respect each other, to respect everything, to show compassion. If we do not know what will happen or what will be the consequences for our actions, we shall make this place a worst or a living hell for each and every one. There is another statement for a great man. This is where a great man in African history, Emperor Haile Selassie, who was the emperor of Ethiopia. He said these words, that history teaches us that unity is strength, and caution is us to submerge our indifferences for the quest for the common goal, to strive for a combined strength as the only path to achieve African brotherhood and unity. So, if history teaches us from the beginning of the story about the first civilization according to God in human history, so we have to overcome our indifferences. We have to caution ourselves to stop doing things that we are fighting each other. Let's come, let's combine our strengths for a common goal. That's when we shall be able to achieve, and that's the only path we shall go through to achieve true African brotherhood and unity. My brothers and sisters, we at the INASA group, it's our responsibility in this generation to see that we encourage our dear brothers and sisters, not only the youth, but everyone in the entire continent of Africa, and not only in the entire continent of Africa, but in the whole world, because Africans are no longer living in Africa as a continent, but we are living in a globalized world. So we have the responsibility to make sure that every place we go, we show respect. Every place we go, we behave well. Every place we go, we desire to create something meaningful. Africa, we have done so many great things. So many great things has happened in Africa. Let's not devalue ourselves. We are God's image. We are God's product. We have the ability to create. We have the ability to build. We have the ability. But we shall not build anything if we are not united. We shall not build anything if we don't love each other. Let's love each other. Let's put God first in everything we do. Let's put the entire human race to be the first option in everything we do. Let's not embark on the spirit of individualism. Let's learn from the past. Let's learn from the past and create a new future. Let's create a new generation. We as the INASA group, we say, if you have gained something in this wonderful teaching, we say, do not thank us. Be a part of this journey. Be a part of this journey. Pick 3 statements and teach those 3 statements to 5 people. And let those 5 people teach those 3 statements to another 5 people. And those 5 another people teach those 3 statements to another 5 people. If we do that, we shall build something great. Together we stand. United we stand. Divided we fall. We as the INASA group, we say, let's love and develop step by step. We love you all. God bless you.